Hey there, my love. It's your girl Lexi and your girl Yappy. And today, my daughter Zoe and I went and voted. And I just want to say something real quick. The right to vote is not small, it's not casual, and it's not guaranteed, especially in this day and time that we're living in. My ancestors died for me to have this right. And if you don't vote, you really can't complain. And I refuse to sit it out. I refuse to sit it out. So let's talk about that. I got on my little I voted sticker. So grab a snack and come on back. Let's get into it. Hey there, welcome back, my loves. It is Lexvember day 4. This month is going by already too. October, I was talking to somebody this morning. October went by in a blur, in a literal blur. I wanted to talk about it being voting day, here in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I live. If you don't know, I live in South Charlotte, North Carolina. And I got up, got dressed, and my daughter and I went to the polls together. We always do. And let me tell you, it wasn't just a task for us to do it. It was a moment of gratitude. A moment of gratitude and a moment of legacy. Yeah, and a moment of grace. My mother was all about voting and all about working, for a cause, and especially my aunts. One of my aunts, my Aunt Marge, my mother's bestest friend. I'm going to put a picture up here if I can find it of her, my mother, my Aunt Marge, and Miss Lillian, which was President Jimmy Carter's mother. And she came to St. Croix, Miss Lillian, when her son had won and was president. And my mom was one of the campaign workers that worked at the event that went on. And my mother was always somebody who rallied for what she believed in and who she believed in and stood up for her right to vote. For her right to vote. My mother was born in 1931. That was a big right to vote. It was. Being a Black person and being able to vote and go there and make your voice heard, that's a big deal. And I've been voting since I was 18 years old. I registered to vote at the age of 17. Before I graduated high school, I was a registered voter so that when I turned 18, I could go and vote with no issues. They don't even do that today. When my daughter turned 18, right before she turned 18, I asked at the high school, I'm like, well, do you all have are you registering these kids to vote? And they're like, oh, we don't do that. What do you mean you don't do that? I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this is their right. And if they want to, they should be registered. And my daughter wanted to vote. I had been taking her voting since she was a toddler, since she was in a stroller. And she's always done the kid vote. So yeah, she wants to make her voice heard. And it's a big deal. I talk to so many of my friends and nobody votes. They don't vote because they don't care about either party and whatever. And that's all good and well because it's your right. It's your right not to if you don't want to. But I want to have that right to do so, and I want to continue to do that. That is our God-given right. And my ancestors fought, through slavery, through everything to have this right. And I'm not going to let it pass me by, and I'm not going to sit it out. Every time, I have never missed an election to vote from the time I was 18 till now at 61 years young, and neither has my daughter. From the age of 18 till now, she's 27 and a half. We have never missed voting, never. And we always go early, but it didn't work out this time that we could go early, so we had to go today. And she had to go to work today, and I'm like, we are stopping to vote on your way to work, so let's do it. And we did. And we usually curbside. We always curbside here in North Carolina, in Charlotte. I am handicapped, for those of you who don't know. I do walk with a cane, sometimes with a walker. And I'm not walking in there and trying to stand online and do all that. We pull up, You call a number, they come out, they bring your stuff, they take it in, they verify everything, they bring it back out, they take it back in and run your thing and come back out and let you know your thing is done. Your vote is in and counted, and you get your sticker, I voted. And that's what we did. There's no excuses. There's no excuses. And there were people there who were worse off than me, who got out of their cars and went in to vote. And all of them, because it's attached to the senior community where Zoe works, she knew most of the old people there. And she's like, oh, that person's from over there, and that person and that person. You know, everybody was there to vote. It doesn't matter what your party affiliation is. It's your given right. It's your given right. You know, I just, you know, it wasn't a task for us. You know, it just wasn't a task. You know, it wasn't. And as a 61-year young Black woman in America, there was a time not long ago when someone who looked like me could not vote. They could not. And, you know, when Black people were beaten and jailed and killed, or for even trying, right? For even trying. So when people say it doesn't matter, or my vote doesn't count, I really want to gently challenge that, you know, and I want to say your voice matters. Your voice matters. Your vote matters. And your silence also matters, because, you know, silence is a choice too. It is a choice too. For me, it's not the right choice, but if that's your thing, then you know, more power to you. I always say you can't complain about the system if you don't show up and help shape it. You know, we have to do what we can. Whatever our party affiliation is, we have to. We have to. And at the rate of what's going on here today, you know, with the government shutdown, the prices of food getting higher, the food stamps being cut for those who use food stamps and SNAP benefits, you know, the people who are worked beyond because they are essential workers, but the government is shut down, so they're not getting paid. For over 35 days now, they are not getting paid. You're damn right I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. You know, I'm not just going to sit at home, scroll through my phone, right? And you know, moan about the politicians while choosing not to vote. I'm just not going to do that. You know, that's not how change works. That's not how change works. I'm grateful that I can vote. You know, I'm grateful that I get to participate in a system that once locked people like me out. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm grateful that I walked out of my house today. I pulled up to the curbside voting today, you know, and I didn't pull up there as a statistic, not as a spectator, but as a registered voter, a Democratic voter. And I said my voice counts and I count. So yes, gratitude is not just for the good moments. It's for the moments of responsibility. We all have a responsibility, right? To ourselves, to voice our opinion, to voice our opinions. And the one way to do that is by voting, So if you're listening to this, you're watching this, and you haven't voted yet, and you're eligible, please go do so. Most of the polls in this country don't close till 7:30 p.m. Please go and vote. Go and vote. Vote for your future, your babies, your people, and your power. Do it. Do it for your peace. You know, and if you can't vote today, still honor your ancestors by using your voice in another way. Using it in another way. Hopefully that way is voting, though. Hopefully that way is voting. Voting is power. It's power, not only power, but a powerful one we can't afford to throw away. Can't afford to throw it away. Not at all. Not at all. So, on this Lexfemba Day 4, I just want to say that I voted. I performed my civic duty, and I went out and I voted, because it is paramount. In this day and age, with all this crap that's going on around here in this country, it's paramount that we go out and we vote. You know, use that power that you have. Use that power. And if you're not registered, then please get registered. So at the next time there's an election, you can go and make your voice heard. It's important. It really is. So on that note, Yappy and Lexi out. I've got another little video that I'm going to do, a little unboxing. So come back for that, and I'll see you soon. Remember that I do see you. I love you. Plenty, 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 plenty. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of us, and I'm even extra proud of you if you went out and voted today, or if you did early voting where you live. If it's an election day in your town, I hope you voted. So on that note, deuces! And I'll see you next time for Lexvember Day. Bye!